additional stormwater flows. It was supposed to go into all a series of rain gardens, but then, so it doesn't hit, so all the water, or I should say, all the water doesn't hit the creek all at once. The stormwater, supposedly, and I'm not really abreast of the finer detail of that development, but it's it has a certain amount of retarding basins. Eventually, yeah, the volume of water coming down the creek is increased, but the first flush or the initial impact is supposed to be staggered by a series of retarding basins. So look, I haven't worked on that project, and
I've been watching, and I know they've changed. There were massive issues there. It was undermining coming out underneath those pine trees at the top of Ingriggs Creek, made a mess. And they've gone back, and I think they've done some more engineering and changed it, because they got into it and did lots and lots of work. I've never
There's a concrete wall across there.
Question? Yes, sorry, at the back, you haven't asked the question yet.
I'd like to know to what extent the works along Foreshore deviated from the coastal management plan on report, and also how the council is going about prioritising the various different aspects of the plan.
I think the plan was 2007.
April 2008.
Okay, close. So it's getting, I guess, it's getting to a point where it needs to be reviewed. Management plans are concept plans. They don't come with money, so not all of the items are implemented. So, to answer your question, some of the initiatives have been achieved, not all. In fact, I wouldn't even hazard to think. I think our works at the Dell they look a fair bit different to what they were in that management plan, as are probably the concept of having more pedestrian linkages along the coast. Probably haven't been delivered. The groins, I don't think, were part of the detailed design. They were more part of another study that was done, and the delivery of those groins has deviated from that initial study. You're correct.
So is there going to be a revised plan?
The idea, or the aim, is to revise the plans every few years, 5 to 6 years. So that plan is due for revision, yes, in the foreseeable future.
And will that revision go through the same process as this did?
Yes.
As far as consultation and that's concerned?
Yes. Yes.
Are there any plans to do any works in the short term between the Dell and the boat harbour?
No.
Because some of the works, as we've heard tonight, some of the works that have occurred, like the groin, for example, is having an impact on that area. Build up seaweed, for example.
No, unfortunately not. No,
Is that impacted because of the fact that the residents own to high water mark or something? Is that?
Yeah. There is no public foreshore along there that's managed or owned by council. As you know, it's private property that goes down to Crown land. We don't propose to do any works there. We did, and I've spoken to you about potential of whether a groin underneath the lookout would assist in capturing any eastward movement sand along there. Maybe it would, but I wasn't successful in securing any money for that, I'm afraid.
It's picking up on the groin and known for the life rise of 1.4 metres from 70. When those stairs near the point were first built, I walked off the last last set and sand on the sand. Sort of towards the end, the last two steps are often underwater. So that is a rise of my estimate of about 0.3 metre within a couple of years on the current sites flying out beyond the heads. Now the other first evidence of that is the groins. Once upon a time you walk out to the edge of those without getting feet wet in high tide, you can't do that in the rider. So if we've had that sort of rise in a couple of years, I can't see how.
I in fact think we had some slumpage on the groins. Yeah, I wouldn't attribute that to, and I'm not qualified to say what channel deepening has done, but
we have surveyed the existing groins, and they do run parallel to the seabed, which is not how they're supposed to be. So whether they've slumped or they were built a bit low, they definitely disappear in the water, especially at the high waters and storms. So the new groins will run parallel to the water at a fixed height of 2.8 sharp data, which is well above high tide.
So you'll be able to go up and put a peg in and say, that's it, we keep an eye on it. I think that's important, those ideas that we've been talking about, opening up the Raplh and other issues, global warming. And those issues, if you want to, you can sort of talk to the ladies afterwards.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Victoria Coastal Strategy is the document which actually gives information about our predicted sea level rise, and Victoria Coastal Council actually puts that document together, so that might be the place to start to get more information about that. I can give you some contacts later.
Yes.
Sorry question. But I would have thought with the groins, as well as with, so your plans in place, the barricades and stuff, that you would have actually had a computer to do some sort of modelling to actually predict different impacts of the environment on these different areas.
Jeff, have you
so that you would have been able to see, you would have taken measurements to actually see, well, what was the
extent of how
extent. Yep. So like with the groin, you would have had a measurement of where the seabed was, and so you'd actually be able to see if it actually slumped or not.
Yeah, that has been carried out by Cardno. They modelled they took the survey of the seabed, superimposed the groin on, and ran the winds and waves for a certain period of time, and that gave a beach alignment, not like the alignment that's shown there on the drawing, which is just a parallel construction, but it will adopt what they call a dynamic equilibrium alignment, which is a ecology, I think you call it. But it adjusts through the seasons, but the idea of the hook on the groin is to maintain more sand and more beach width than if it was, say for example, the existing groin where you get leakage around the end.
But I'm saying that you would have been able to measure whether there was actually a slump with the original groin or whether it was actually sea levels rising.
Well, we know that by the survey that the end of the groin is lower than it should be. So, and the survey is related to water levels, and so it's not due to sea level. Okay.
No more questions. Thank you. I think it's been a really... Oh, sorry, Neil, did you have one?
Oh, I just want with the association with Undertaking Walk Foreshore, the boat harbour to Beacon Point, it sounds like you're saying that the area next to the boat harbour, there'll be no chance of getting that water.
Well, that's sort of private land, isn't it?
He's talking about boardwalk. Boardwalk outside the bus.
You used to go from there down to the Dell.
I'm putting in a section of boardwalk. I hate to put a damper on, but 24 metre section of boardwalk, 2.4 metres wide, is costing $31,000.
Where's that?
In the zigzag.
That's exactly it. All right, well, I think we've had an opportunity tonight to come up to speed with all the issues that Raplh's dealing with, and I thank the Department of Environment and Primary Industries and everyone else for turning up. there won't be a rush bill on tomorrow for people trying to offload that Foreshore land, so you'll be safe. I'm glad to hear, because I think we are on top of it. It sounds like we've got real solutions to those problems, and there'll always be consequences, and I think if we all have our say like this, we have an input, then we can come up with a solution and an outcome that we're sort of happier with. So thank you for that. Thank you for your energies that you're putting.
Take the opportunity either through Matthew, Doug or Anne, if you do have any questions, if I can help out, if I can answer them, I'll try my best, but if I can't, I'll be able to refer you just maybe someone that can. As far as the broader issues of climate change and channel deepening, I'm probably best going to
the girls are going to stay behind, and Raplh's going to be here for a little bit too, so if you want to come up and have a quick discussion with them and talk about things, feel free to do that. I'd like to put in a plug for our community association too. We meet on the first Tuesday of every month, and we often have visitors come along and just sit in the meetings and see, talk about things, and we come up with these ideas, and then we put them out there. We put pressure on our councillors and this yes, sure. Yes.
Make sure you've got some decent public address up. We seem to have a little group down the front having a chat with themselves.
Sorry, yeah, we do have the mic, and we just didn't get that out. Yeah. Okay, thank you. We'll take that on board as we will with the delivery of letters. Okay.